And I remember there was a point where, and every entrepreneur has to do this, where you have a day job, like your full-time job, and then you have what people call your hobby, but you want that to be your business. At some point, you're going to have to step all the way on the boat, right? So my stepping on the boat was another aha moment. Like, shit, this is real. Like, I was going from selling blood, eating ramen, avoiding the banks, not paying my car payment, electric turned off, drinking, to now I have like another full-time job, and it came from my idea. That's insane. Like, that's crazy. Am I good to do this? But I had a lot of trust in the people around me, Rebecca, Ali, Nick, that what we were doing was not just me solely anymore. It wasn't just me doing it quietly. It was like, everybody cool. I'm going to quit the gas station. We're cool. All right, I'm doing it. So having that community, having that tribe to have your back and support you through those decisions, because you only know what you know, right?
What's up, guys? I want you to know something that most people quit long after the work starts paying off. Today's guest built a 7-figure company after selling plasma just to keep going. John, welcome to the Battle Harder podcast.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on here. I'm honored. Thank you.
I appreciate it. And I love your story. So to speak, in my head, it's just that story of freedom and overcoming adversity and doing what you need to do to be successful, even when you think you can't, or when you feel like you can't go on. So John, take me back to that season of how this kind of started, and how did you essentially start in your military career? And then what kind of led you to say, hey, I'm going to start a men's grooming company?
Yeah. I know it's really weird to go from the Marine Corps to making hair products, but I was in the Marine Corps active duty from 2012 to 2016. Around the summer of 2016, right when I was getting ready to separate out, I was an armorer. So I jumped down off a loading dock at the armory, and one of my buddies said, "Hey, dude, you balding?" And he said it kind of like a joke, but I went home that night and I looked in the mirror. I used 2 mirrors, and I looked at the back of my head. And I could see my scalp. So I was like, oh, wow. Damn, am I actually, like, is my hair actually falling out now? This is kind of concerning. And then as soon as that happened, man, I just, like, it took up all of my time and all of my thoughts. I was just like, my hair's falling out. And I have a full head of hair, obviously I cut it short now, but I had like a giant pompadour. I looked like John Basilone. It was like so I took great pride in my hair and styling it and looking nice and looking clean. And I was like, I can't be going bald, man. Like, I don't want that life, and I was 21, 22 at the time. So definitely shouldn't be balding, So I decided I was going to look into the products I was using. I was like, it's not my genetics. My family all has great hair. And they're all like, my parents are 60s and they're fine. They have hair. So I was like, what's the other option? What am I using product wise that's causing me hair loss? I looked over at the ingredients I have and I was like, I can't pronounce any of these things. What are these things? Like methylcollagen 6, all these plastics, alcohols, preservatives, thickeners, like all of these things that are man-made processed, that are not naturally found. And then I was like, what happens if I do the opposite? What happens if I go, like, the question that came up in my mind was, what did our ancestors do? Because what a lot of people, hot topic, but I don't think the world's any different than it used to be for our ancestors. I'm talking like thousands of years ago. I think it's all just perspective based. We only live for, let's say, 100 years each, and we only have that perspective to base our entire world off of. But the things that we're dealing with as human beings is the same thing our ancestors dealt with. Like, they had insecurities, they had family issues, they had money issues, they had job issues, they had self-fulfilling purpose issues. And on top of that, they had hair and skin issues. You know what I mean? So things happened and they were able to solve it without all of the great innovations that we have nowadays. So how did they do it? And I can't do it right now. That just blew my mind. And obviously we have Rogaine and all this stuff that is processed. It's man-made, it's synthetic. So it's not really, it's patching a symptom. It's not healing the root. So I was like, what did our ancestors do? Well, they went out in the woods and they foraged ingredients for themselves. They found beeswax, they found coconut oils, they used olive oils, depending on where you were in the country. But everything that they used was from the ground. And it was in their native area. They couldn't ship things from China to America. Right. They couldn't ship things from Africa to Canada. Like, that wasn't an option. It was whatever's in your community, in your tribe area. So I decided to look into organic things, just things that were naturally found and things that weren't processed through man-made synthetic labs and science and all that stuff. Beeswax, coconut oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, tea tree, peppermint, all of these like pure oils, pure waxes, pure like fragrance essential oils, things like that, herbs. And I was just starting to separate out of the Marine Corps, and I was like, let me ditch all of these products that have ingredients that I can't pronounce. Let me just ditch all those and use just straight coconut oil and see what happens. And my hair stopped thinning, but it wasn't coming back. It was just gone. It was just gone. Like I just had this like patch right here that you could see my scalp. And I was doing like the Trump thing where I was like combing it over, trying to cover it up. I'm like, no, I'm not going bald. I'm like, it was an insecurity. Most men
definitely
that have thinning hair or like ED, thinning hair, like those insecurities we don't talk about. We're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Don't talk to me about that. Like, I'm not weird. But bro, like we all deal with that stuff. So like I was doing that. I was keeping it inside and I wasn't telling anyone about it because I was really insecure and scared, thinking people would judge me or something, I wanted to get my hair back. So I did a ton of research and I ended up discovering that there was a barber school like right up the street here from Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. So I was like, I'm gonna go to barber school. This is still in the same like path area. I can learn about hair. I can cut hair. I can style hair. I can be more in the hair industry, so I can become more educated on that in that industry. So I went to barber school, and I don't know why. I'm not a good like I can't cut hair. I don't. There's so much hair cutting in barber school. Who would have? I wanted to go there for learning, so I went for like the textbooks, the chemistry, aromatherapy, styling of the hair follicle, the hair anatomy. I went for all of that stuff, and I got it all. But dude, I'm a perfectionist by nature, so it would take me 3 hours to finish a fade. Like I would be like, no, that hair a little bit more, that hair. I would never finish a haircut. Definitely not something I was passionate about, and I was not good at it at all. But I was really interested in the hair anatomy and the hair cycle and the anatomy of the human body and what hair is and what it does and what causes hair loss, what causes hair growth. So I took that information and I went back home and I did even more research. I sat down, kept doing research, and I found out peppermint and tea tree, not only are they antibacterial, but they actually increase blood flow. So peppermint naturally, which I'm sure you know, is incredible ingesting it for your digestive system, for all of that, but it's just incredibly healing for your skin and hair.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm gonna put peppermint, argan, jojoba, and tea tree in a blend, and I'm gonna use that every day. And I did, and my hair came back. Like the thickness was there. It's like there, and it's not like Rogaine. I used Rogaine for a while. I used it for about 8 months. And then once I stopped using it, my hair, all the hair that it came back from Rogaine fell out immediately. Like it was like gone because it wasn't being supported by that product anymore. And I used this stuff and it stayed, and it's like, I could feel my scalp again for the first time in my life. And I was like, I didn't even realize my scalp and hair and everything had like a sheet of plastic over it, and I couldn't feel it anymore. Once I started using natural ingredients, I can almost feel my scalp again. Like I can feel the wind going between my hair. It was like feeling for the first time ever. It was absolutely insane. And like I said, I was in barber industry. So I worked at a barber shop as a receptionist, did not cut hair, was not good at it. But I realized that if it worked for me, maybe it can work for other people too. So when I was like separated out of the Marine Corps, I was growing my beard out, I was growing my hair out. I needed a pomade to style my hair, to keep it looking clean and styled. And then I needed a beard oil and a beard wash to help my beard growing. Because you get that itch and then you get the beard drop, all of that stuff. So I had a pomade, an oil-based pomade, which was beeswax, coconut, tea tree, argan, jojoba, and then a mixture of peppermint oil and essential oils for the fragrance. And then I had a beard oil that had all of that same stuff, just no beeswax. And then I had a beard wash, which had all those oils, just added castile soap. So it was a wash of soap. And I was using those products like twice a day. I loved it. It was making me feel really good. It made my hair grow back. I could feel like when I rubbed it in, I could feel that tingling sensation from the peppermint. So it was increasing blood flow to my sebaceous glands, which was producing more sebum oil. So my hair was actually getting more nutrients from my body. And then working in the barber industry, I'm looking at all these barbers just slathering their clients in these toxic chemicals. And I see some of them going bald. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, wouldn't it behoove you to have your client use a product that makes their hair grow faster and thicker so you get paid more and more often? And they're like, yeah, I guess that does make sense. However, when I had my pomade formula and my beard oil and everything, it was cost me like $5 to make it, and I was selling it for 10. I was doing that for a minute, and then the bank account ran dry. I had no money at all. Like we were living in a house. We ended up moving into a mobile home. I ended up getting a gas station job. I worked there part-time at night. And I found a solution. Like I knew it worked for me, and I knew it would help other people as well. But the money just ran dry, man. Like I don't know anything about business. Like I was selling maybe one and giving 5 away. Like I was not making any money at all. So we found out you can sell blood, like right down the street here. You can sell your plasma.
Right.
So my wife and I, Rebecca, we went there twice a week. That was our date night. And we would sell our plasma. I would get $35 a session because I have all the vaccinations from the Marine Corps, and she would get, I think, $20 every session, and that's twice a week. So we'd use that, go to Walmart, get ramen noodles, get some water. That would be our dinner. And then the rest would just go back into buying caps, jars, beeswax, oils, fragrance oils, essential oils, all of these things, labels for it. And then I would just rinse and repeat every single week. We'd keep doing that. And selling the product to people, they'd come back, they'd love it, they loved how it smelled, they loved how it made them feel. They loved that it wasn't, because like when someone says it's organic to you, you're like, it's probably not as good then, right? Like it probably doesn't taste as good, it doesn't feel as good. I pride myself on making a product that you can't tell until I tell you it's organic, and you're like, oh dang, I thought this was like top line stuff. Like it's just a word, organic. People picture like hippies and everybody has their opinion on it. That was around late 2017. Things got really, really dark. I'm not trying to jump ahead. I know your question was how did I get into it, but really it started with thinning hair, finding my own solution, making the solution, solving my own issue, then discovering that everybody else also deals with these same issues. So communication is a huge core value of mine. Just talk about it. If you're going through something, like I guarantee there's somebody around you right now that's also going through it or went through it and made it out, and they can help you or you can help them. We just don't talk about our problems. So I started talking about it, and people were like, that's me. I have thinning hair. I have skin issues. Can I try your stuff? And when I hear that, I'm very empathetic. When somebody says that to me, I'm like, bro, I was there. I know what that feels like. I'm so sorry you're going through that and it's affecting your confidence. Here, take this product. Don't pay me. Just keep the product. I know you're going to love it. And then they come back later and they're like, best product ever. Let me buy 3. So that's kind of like how I operate as a business, because I know the product's good. And around 2017, late 2017, dude, I was just so burnt out. I was doing that for a year and some change, just driving around to state after state, trying to go to like conferences and barber expos and driving to barber shops, trying to sell to them, trying to find people on Instagram to sell to, trying to ship to people. I don't know anything about shipping and fulfillment. So I wasn't charging nearly enough. I was just like, my bank account was just bleeding constantly. Wow. My electric got turned off. My phones got turned off. I got really heavy into alcohol, like really, really heavy into whiskey, and Land Shark, because it's the cheaper variation to Corona. So, but it seemed like I would go to the plasma center, sell plasma, buy ingredients, whatever's left over. I would rather buy alcohol than pay my rent or pay for the electric bill. It was just, dude, it was really, really rough, really hard. I was 230 pounds at the time. I'm 165 now, so you can imagine the difference. I was very unhealthy. My car got repoed, so I've never had a car repossessed. That was an experience on its own. For a $200 car payment, I'd rather buy whiskey. So my car got repoed. And then I met Nick in March or February of 2018, and he fell in love with the product. I did the same thing to him. I said, dude, keep the product. I know you're going to love it. He didn't have thinning hair or nothing, that he's, he's an entrepreneur. So he's always looking for opportunities. And he fell in love with the product, and he was like, yo, we got to work together. And that kind of like shifted it. It turned my idea into an actual business. And it all just started with me realizing that I have a problem and I'm not special. Everyone else has this problem as well. And if I can solve it for me, I can help other people as well.
Yeah. And that's the biggest part of business, is that build a better mousetrap, is finding that need with your product or service, and then being able to help people heal or be better or do better. But what was your support system like with your wife? And at what point, if you're doing like all this alcohol and stuff, and, you know, instead of paying the bills, so to speak,
Yeah.
what was the mentality with that? Like, why did you get that low? Was it you were overwhelmed and you wanted this thing to take off and be successful so bad that it like caused you mental health issues?
Yeah, it was just my wife and I. We kind of pride ourselves on being like lone wolves. I know that doesn't really make sense because we're a partnership, but I didn't tell my family I was going through this stuff. They're up in Pennsylvania. Her family's also up in Pennsylvania. We met in high school. We got married at 18 when I joined the Marine Corps. Tomorrow is our 13th anniversary, actually. So
Wow.
it was just her and I, man. And I think the biggest debilitating factor for my mental health was compare syndrome. One, first
Mm,
off, I have imposter syndrome. Like most people deal with that. Like, who am I to make this? Who am I to solve
right.
this problem? You know. But then the compare syndrome, where I'd go on social media, I see these other guys making these beard products and these hair products, and they look like they're killing it, and I'm over here selling blood, and I'm like, man, this sucks. And obviously, which I'm sure you're aware, alcohol is just a numbing agent. It doesn't
Yeah.
help you at all in life. It just numbs you to not deal with or not think about or not feel the things that you're actually going through in life, which is the opposite of what you want to be doing. You want to feel everything. That way you can experience it all and find opportunities where maybe pain was. There's an opportunity for growth there. Alcohol kind of numbs that. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought our society drinks, I'm going to drink. And it helped me get through those compare syndrome things where I was just like, man, F that guy. Why does he get $1 million and I don't? Why did a bank loan him money? Dude, banks were like, I could not go to a bank. Like, I had charged
Yeah.
off credit cards. Like, it was bad. So I'm like, what? Like, I'm a good dude. I served the Marine Corps. I'm an honorable discharge. I work my ass off. I have a great work ethic. I'm willing to do anything and everything. I am like, I will treat it like it's mine. I have photos of the gas station where I was like, I made all the labels perfectly straight. And like, I take pride in my work no matter what it is, you know? I'm like, why can't I get what he has? That's not fair, you know? And I was just like
Mm,
in that. And then once you're in that, there's like
you're
the
stuck.
door.
Yeah.
Door is like, where'd the door go? I can't leave. And alcohol kind of made me deal with that, you know? Rebecca wasn't much of a drinker. She drank margaritas, but stupid expensive. So not that, you know. But I really was drinking beer. I was drinking beer a lot, and whiskey, but whiskey was more of a luxury thing because it was more expensive. But yeah, I think compare syndrome and imposter syndrome was really debilitating for me back in the day, you know.
Was there any point where you were going through this and the wife's like, man, you got to stop this shit? Like, this is not going to work. Like, did she like put a foot in your ass, or was it just
No,
overwhelming
she had
support or?
she had we both overwhelmingly support each other. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, but she's incredible. She is like everything that I'm missing, and I'm everything she's missing. Like, we are soulmates through and through. So I am like, I'm undiagnosed ADD, ADHD. Like, as you can tell, like, I am just like, my mind. And we spoke before. Like, I just go.
Yeah, me too.
And you've seen me talk too. It's just go, go, go. I cannot keep track of any of my ideas, really, really at all. And she keeps track of all of them. She keeps track of
Nice.
everything, scheduling, all of that stuff. She made sure that we were able to hop on a call right now. You know what I mean? Like, if it was me, I'd be like creating or drawing or thinking and doing all this stuff. She is like my structure when it comes to this stuff. So she knew that the product was good, and she knew that it was going to change people's lives. We just head down and work. That's our ethic, is just put your head down, get to work. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how much you cry about it. Get to work harder. You can always work harder. There were times where we didn't even see each other for weeks because she worked double shifts at Chuck E. Cheese, and I worked at the barber shop and the gas station. So she worked during the day, I worked during the night. So we never saw each other. I would say even like 2 weeks. It felt like deployment. I just didn't see her at all. But it was okay. We saw each other. We didn't have the best relationship, obviously, because that was just something we were dealing with, you know. But we'd see each other, like, high five, kiss. All right, I'm off. And it was cool. You know, we both understood this is what our dream needs. This, it requires this. This is the price we're willing to pay in order to make it in our lives and help change other people's lives. And it's a small price to pay, man. Just like a year and a half of that, it's not that crazy, you know. She was overwhelmingly supportive, and she knew I had my process too. So drinking is not a part of the process by any means at all. I'm sober now, so definitely don't want anything to do with that anymore. But she thought like it's just part of the process. Let's just keep supporting each other. Like, obviously I never did any hard drugs or anything like that. I don't even think we smoked weed at the time. It was just alcohol. She was like, there's a means to an end. Like, the point was that we're going to work our ass off right now with a means to an end. Like, there's always hope at the end because the product's good. There's no denying that. It's just, where do we get the product for somebody to be like, this is it. Here's $10 million. Do you know what I mean? It just took time to get there.
Yeah. And I like what you said about imposter syndrome. I think a lot of people, even us, especially men, we all go through it. And, you know, the comparison, jealousy, judgment on social media is real. It's something that I struggle with, and I try to help people that I coach deal with, you know, not realizing that most of social media is fake. It's not, you know, real. You're putting on a show for everybody to see. But it does suck when you see that car, or you're a coach and you see this coach, like, man, it looks like he's making $1 million a day, and he's, you know, in the Maldives scuba diving while being on his yacht, and I'm stuck in my townhouse grinding it out. But I like how, you know, you kept fighting. Was there ever a point, was there this like breaking point where it was either I'm going to succeed and I'm going to fail, and I'm either going to make it or I'm going to quit?
Yeah. That was probably, I would say, December. My car got repoed. That was a huge thing because it was like, as a man in our society, we are expected to be able to handle ourselves and handle the household.
Right.
And I'm not trying to get into gender placements and all that shit, but as a man, you know, we have this unspoken expectation, and sometimes it is spoken, especially in media and in our generations before us, that the man has to figure out the finances, has to take care of the house, and get your own shit together, which is already hard as it is. So I got to take care of my shit, and I got to take care of everyone else's shit. That's a lot, man. I was really embarrassed and insecure that I didn't have my finances down. I was buying alcohol. I was buying ingredients. I wasn't even selling them. I was giving them away. And that was embarrassing for me because Rebecca was working a double shift in a corporate job, Chuck E. Cheese. We also ate Chuck E. Cheese pizza for like that was our meals like every night too. So we got some fat from that cheesy pizza. Oh, it was so good. Not terrible for you, but oh my God. I would never eat it now, but it got to a point where it was like, I'm sorry. I've been fasting for a week. I got brain fog. Where was I going? What was I saying?
Are you on a 7-day fast?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I haven't been brave enough to try that yet. So,
dude, it's my first time ever. I'm on day 5. After day 3, it gets easier, but you can't think anymore. It's like, dude, I'm trying to down water and like my brain is not functioning properly. It's the wildest thing. If I go on a tangent like I just did, I'm like, where's the door? Like, it's wild, man.
Are you fasting? Like, are you fasting for like spiritual, for health, just a challenge?
Not so much spiritual. More because this holiday was kind of like I was a like
a wreck fest.
I was dude. If I didn't even check nutrition facts at all. More health wise, and I have nerve damage in my lower back from the Marine Corps, which I'm sure most of us do. And it's affecting my psoas down to my hip flexor. So I read a lot of recovery happens in the human body during fasting because the energy doesn't go to digesting anymore. It goes to like recovery of the body. So I'm just testing out what a 7-day fast would feel like. Never done one before. I usually do 3-day fasts. What a 7-day fast would feel like, and then how my body would feel afterwards if I give it time to recover, especially my psoas area, man. It's very painful in my lower back, you know?
And guys, this isn't have you heard of So Right? The So Right?
Yeah. I have one right there. Yeah.
It works great. I have it. That's really great for the.
It works terrible the first time.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh my God, what is this sensation? But like, yeah, you need it. Most
definitely.
They're so tight. Yeah.
So, you know, with the military, being a Marine and all the injuries and everything, did anything that you went through in the Marine Corps directly transfer for you into your business and into what you do now and give you the, I guess, wherewithal to keep going?
It's hard to say, man. I do feel like understanding what a core value is. I didn't really have much of a job growing up as a kid. I worked for my dad every once in a while. He did HVAC installation and fabrication, which it was just him. So it was like I would go in and it would just be me and him. So we didn't really have core values. I didn't know what core values were. And then my work ethic, to actually take pride in whatever you're doing, because I was just given a job. Like I went in for, I think I wanted to be a welder at the time, and they gave me small arms technician repair, so a gunsmith and an armorer. And I dabbled with guns. Like I lived in Pennsylvania, we were shooting and stuff, but it wasn't anything like we were doing in the Marine Corps with grenade launchers and all that, machine guns and stuff. So kind of getting thrown a random job and then saying, do that to the best of your ability and be proud in that. That was really like something that I've never experienced before. And I loved it. I didn't care what it was. Like if they told me to go clean the head, like, dude, that thing would be spotless. I don't care. Like I would put everything I had into that and act like that was my only sole purpose on earth, was to clean that head, and I don't think I had that before the Marine Corps. I think something happened in the Marine Corps where it was just pride. Just be proud of the work you're doing, be proud of that, stand by it, and help others while doing so as well. That translated into my life. So everything I touch is like that. Even when I drive down the street, I'm like, yo, keep the car in the lane the best you can. Do the speed limit best you can. Like do the best you can with everything you do. And that translated really well into business, because when you're starting a business, you do everything. Like you're wearing every hat, you're seeing every seat of the company, you're doing emails, you're doing fulfillment, you're doing the customer service, you're doing the product making, you're doing all the marketing. So it's like, do the best. I don't, even if you don't know what it is, do the best you can. And that way tomorrow, when it say it didn't work out tomorrow, you don't have regret, because you're not saying like, could I have done better? Should I have done better? Like, you did your best. So you can just move on and learn a lesson from there. So I think that translated from the Marine Corps, probably the best. And working with others, I think that's important. I learned that one guy can't build a whole community by himself. So you definitely need support from like-minded people and similar core value people to build something,
Yeah. And that's what I want to get into. And just for me, when I joined the military, I had no passion, no purpose, no identity, didn't know what I wanted to do. I honestly thought I'd probably be living with my parents up until now.
Yeah.
And joining the military flipped a switch for some reason. It gave me that discipline. It gave me that wanting to become the best version of myself. It really, for me, I needed it. It lit the fire in my ass to essentially be who I am today. And for you guys that don't know, Nick Koumalatsos, I don't know if I'm even saying that right. He'll be on one of my podcast episodes. He's a Marine Raider, another amazing guy. Give us a breakthrough, because if I remember right, you were like at your wit's end until you met him. And walk us through that story that you've told before about how did that partnership form? Like, how did you meet him, and how did that help your business? Because I think, or I feel like, just like you said, as men, we like to go everything alone. We like to do everything by ourselves. We like to try to figure it out. And I've been really doing talks and trying to help other men realize that we need a tribe. We need a team. Anybody that's been successful has been with teams, with, battalions, with any kind of partner in crime, so to speak, because at the end of the day, they're going to, offset what you don't know, because you don't know what you don't know. So what did that look like for you?
That's a great segue into where my tangent took us off, about fasting. I really hit what I call rock bottom. Everybody has their version or their perspective of what rock bottom is. But I was really embarrassed that I didn't have my finances in order and the car got repoed. And that's something that I can't brush under the rug, because my wife came home and the car is not in the driveway anymore. And I'm like, yeah, a guy came by and he towed it. And he said it's in the lot, in the impound lot. And I have to pay him like $800. And I have to pay every late fee to, it was a Nissan. So I had to pay Nissan like 3 car payments plus another $400 for the transfer and all that stuff. I was like, so we essentially need like $2,000. And we had nothing. Like 2,000. If somebody gave me $2,000, I would think I was rich, like actually rich. I pictured rich people walking around with like $2,000 in their bank account. In my mind, I was 22, 23. So I didn't really know, coming from the Marine Corps is my only experience. And the car getting repoed, moving into the mobile home, keep selling the plasma. It all reached this like pinnacle right at the repo, because it was like, okay, there's an issue. Like we have nothing left. We were having yard sales every weekend. We sold everything we had. We had like we sat on the floor and ate ramen noodles,
Right.
like we watched movies on my laptop that I got as a graduation gift from my dad for graduating high school. It was like a $200 laptop that took 30 minutes to turn on. We had nothing else. And I was like, what do we do at this moment? Like, what is the option? And she said, I think we should pull everything cash from the bank and try to move back home, try to figure something else out. And that was like not an option for me. To me, that's like that is the definition of I couldn't hack it, having to move back home with my parents and do chores again. Like, I'm a grown man. Like, I was in the Marine Corps. I should be able to, I could figure this out. It's just a problem. Let me figure this out, but it was like the hourglass, the last grains were falling. So we were at the bank actually, and we were like pulling cash out. I looked up how to file bankruptcy. Dude, I didn't know anything. I'm like, do you go to the bank to file bankruptcy? I don't know how to do this. They don't even like me in the bank. They have a photo of me back there that says, catch this guy. He owes us money.
Sounding like a true Marine right now.
Yeah, I know, right? At the same time, the best flavor. And dude, so like I'm sitting there, I'm confused by bankruptcy. And I'm like, I'm in denial at this point. I'm like, no, I can still figure this out. Let me figure it out. I went on Instagram real quick. I don't know why. I just opened Instagram. And I saw there was a beard competition. They have like worldwide beard competitions. Right. And I didn't know this at the time. First, second, and third place. I forget the first place name. I think Scott. And then the third place, his name was Owen. And I messaged all three of them. I said, hey, I make beard oil. I make pomade. I'm a Marine. I need you guys to help me here. I'm going to send you product. And then if you could just send me photos of it, I can use that on my, dude, I was way out of, I wasn't going to pay them at all. I was like way out of league here. And I was like, I'll use those photos to help me make more money so I can pay my rent and put food on my table. And I'm being honest. Like, I'm not trying to this is my last, in my mind, this is my last shot, man. I got it. This is it. This is everything. First place, he was down in Florida. I sent him a bunch of product. He said it was great, but he makes his own stuff, which I found out most of those guys do because their beards are huge that they make their own stuff. And then most of them just use coconut oil. Second place was over in the UK. He never got back to me, and I realized he was in the UK. I couldn't afford the shipping over there anyway. Third place got back to me, Owen, and he was related to Nick. So he said, hey, my beard's too big. You'll need to send me like gallons of this stuff every month. He makes his own stuff also, but he said, my family member is Nick. Why don't you reach out to Nick? He's big in business. He's right down the street from you. And he's also a Marine. He's an entrepreneur. I think he owns 5 businesses at the time, like coffee companies. He launched his book. And I was like, okay, this is hope. I have hope again. Dude, I messaged Nick, nothing. I messaged him the next day, nothing. I messaged him like 3 days later, nothing. I sent him a video message, nothing. And I was like, dude, this guy, how am I going to get like, but it was just the universe asked me, how bad do I want it, man? How bad do I want it? And he went live one day, and Ali was reading him the comments and he was just talking. And I messaged him like, hey, my name's John. I'm right down the street from you. I make beard oils and hair pomades. I would love to get some in your hands just to see what you think about it. And in my mind, I really just wanted him to make a video because he had a decent sized following, make a video, and then maybe I'll get some sales through that. Right. He unboxed the product. Well, I came down, I met him. He was out of office filming. He was doing like a 90-day cut, like surviving the cut. I think it's called on YouTube. Every day he made a vlog video. He was out filming that. We came in, we saw Jamie, she worked the front desk here, dropped the box off, and just like everything else I do, dude, I put everything I had into that box. And it was my last shot. So I had to. So I like cut out cardboard, molded the cardboard to like the bottles, made it look real nice. I went to Staples and got Staples to print out ingredients, directions, like everything about the company. Put it on his desk. I left. It was our anniversary, January 2018. So we were going down to Wilmington here to celebrate our anniversary at the park. And on my way down there, Nick messaged me and said, hey, I just got back on office because it's raining, can't shoot, want to come by and talk. So I was like, hell yeah, bro. Right. We hooked at Yui down the street, came up to where I'm standing right now in these offices, and got to meet Nick. He asked me a bunch of business questions because he's a business guy. Like, what's your business infrastructure? And I was like, dude, I say this joke all the time. I have a no-infrastructure. I've got to live out of my car, man. Like, I don't have a business infrastructure. I don't even know what that is. Like, I make grooming products and I give them away. Like, I don't even. And he was like, all right, I'll try them out. I'll let you know. I'll see if I can make a video or something like that. And I was like, cool. He ended up going to Joshua Tree like 2 days later, and he called me in Joshua Tree. And he did like an unboxing video for it, posted on YouTube. People were like, I like it. I made a couple sales on YouTube from it, but I had to ship to California, ship to Kentucky, ship to Florida. So I still wasn't making any money. But I knew the product was really good. So I knew the people that would get it the first time would come back. I know, we have a massive, like huge, it's almost a problem. We have such a high return customer rate that I'm like, this is insane. Like 70%, 80% of people come back.
Nice.
Like for the last 8 years, that many people come back still, you know? So he called me and he was like, we need to sit down. We need to talk. And I was like, I don't play that, man. I don't know. You're going to make me wait 2 weeks. Just tell me now. Like, you're going to make me go to, I'm not gonna be able to sleep for 2 weeks, man. And he was like, all right, do not give me an answer, but this is what we're going to talk about. I want to partner with you. I want you to give me part of your company, and we're going to partner this, and we're going to make this $1 million company. And I was like, dude, I was in the parking lot. I was like, yeah, I was at, I think the rent, I was paying the rent. Like I had to pay rent in like 3 portions. And the lady was so great. She didn't charge us late fees. She was so understanding. So I was in the parking lot getting ready to pay the rent. And dude, I was like, yes, finally, like I can actually see light now. Like I'm coming up to the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like reflecting on me. I can feel it. He got back. We sat down at Chipotle, him, Allie, me, and Rebecca. We talked about business. We talked about everything. And we ended up slapping the table then. And that was, I think, February 18th or 19th. And we officially launched Johnny Slicks on early March. So it happened very quickly, very, very quickly. That first month in March, I think we made $6,000, which is the best I ever did was $300 a month, like just over $300 a month. And then with Nick, we did $6,000 because we had a website running. We had a social media manager going. We had like all of this stuff. Everything was in line. And then that year we made 6 figures. So we made just over $100,000 in 2018. 2019, we made 6-figure again, but it was just under 7. And then 2020 took off, man. Like we said no to all the bullshit that was going on, and we made more money that year than ever. We made 7-figure that year, and just last year, we're 2026 now. In 2024, we tapped into 8-figure. So now we're a $10 million company, and we made it to the Inc. 5000's fastest growing companies in America. So we definitely took off. But I'm an idea person. I'm a visionary. Like that's who I am. All I do is think of really good ideas, and more bad ideas than good ideas. But Nick is the integrator. He can take my ideas and make it happen. So if I have an idea, I tell it to Nick. He's like, that's a good idea, or that's a terrible idea. And if it's a good idea, we run it through the company and we make money that way. If it's a bad idea, it just dies in the water there, which I have tons of them. But Nick is really good at taking ideas and implementing them into reality. I'm really good at thinking of things. So once we discover that, there's a really good book called Rocket Fuel. It talks about the difference between a visionary and an integrator and how to identify which one you are. Like Elon Musk is both. He can do it both.
Right.
Most people are not. You're either one or the other. Once I've read that book, I was like, okay, I am a visionary. I don't need to be figuring out how to create a system, how to create policies, how to make it happen. I need to think of the idea and the why behind the idea. That's my purpose. So once I figured that out and Nick figured out his seat and stuff, we have been nothing but yin yang and just skyrocketing as a business.
That's amazing. And one thing, guys, in the community, I want you to hear what John is saying. And this is something that has worked for me too. When you want something bad enough and you can do things on a level that's not cringe or creepy, when you message people, like people you want to get in touch with, people you want to talk to, people you want to be around, you can do it. Like I had Sean Whalen of Lions Not Sheep on my show because I would always comment on his post. I would literally tell him in his post, I'm going to speak on stage with you one day. And he would see that and be like, how or why do you say that? So you can't just go up to a celebrity or a coach or a podcaster or somebody that has some form of notoriety and say, hey, rep my brand. Like, no, like John didn't take no for an answer. And then he wasn't getting his answer. And he went into the live and posted his question. And that led to something. I can't tell you how many people I DM I don't give a shit if they tell me no. It's not going to do anything. But that one yes makes a difference. And because that one yes, I get to talk to guys like Johnny, Nick on the show, Ray Cash Care, famous Navy SEAL. And these are all guys that I got to meet in person because I needed to get in front of those people. So I did what it takes. So sometimes when you guys are trying to start a business and want to be discouraged and want to give up, you have to keep doing what it takes, because you never know. There could have been a time where Johnny said, like, fuck this, I'm done, and just threw up his towel. I mean, shit, his car got repoed, electricity got cut off. He's eaten the worst nutritional valued food known to man.
True.
But something inside said, no, this is what I believe in. This is my passion, and I'm going to see it through no matter what. So, unless we already talked about it with you meeting with Nick and kind of doing things at Chipotle, what was like your official aha moment that you're like, man, I did this. Like, I created this, I made this, it's a thing. And then you decided to scale from there.
I think I had an aha moment when I finished the formula originally back in 2017. That was a big moment for me. I finished the product. Actually, I have it right here. I'm going to take it off the wall. Give me 1 second. Forbes did this. We were mentioned in the Forbes. So if you look, they specifically took this photo because in the story, I made the pomade and I couldn't afford the lids at the time.
Oh, wow.
But when I finished the formula, it was that. And to me, as a perfectionist, that means it's not done. I didn't have caps, right? I remember driving down to Biotest, the plasma center here, selling blood just so I can buy caps, so I can put the cap on and say it's done. When I had that, I would say it was maybe spring or early summer of 2017. That was my big aha moment. And then I had another really good aha moment when I quit everything that I was doing prior. We had Hurricane Florence that came in and completely took our mobile home. We were living in we rented it, but it was underwater. They couldn't even see the front. We lost everything.
Holy cow.
Everything. Like we went in there and everything was in the front yard. Like we, luckily, and most people don't talk about it as well. Nick definitely doesn't talk about it as much. He actually housed me and Rebecca for almost 2 years.
Oh, nice.
When we lost our house, he came up to Jacksonville. He lived about 30 minutes south of us, where we work now. And he saw the place and he pushed on the wall, like at his head level, and it just caved in, the sheetrock. He was like, you can't live here. And we lived next to a pig farm. So it was just pig feces. I'm not getting into details like that, but it was non-livable.
Wow.
So he said, why don't you guys move into ours? They have like a little second floor, kind of like tuck away. He was like, why don't you guys just stay up there? We're going to be doing business together anyway. We can't let this hurricane be the end of our relationship and the end of this business, experience. So why don't you guys just live up there? We lived up there for 2 years with them. They housed us, didn't charge us rent, didn't do nothing. And honestly, I think that played a huge, huge part. And I'm not telling everybody to go live with their potential business partners and stuff. But honestly, I do feel like, dude, we ate breakfast together. We worked all day together. We ate lunch together. Then we came home and ate dinner together. Then we watched movies, TV together. We had bonfires together. We spent every day together. We spent every holiday together. We took vacations together. We did everything together. So when we have hard conversations, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this part, dude, they're just normal conversations. It's like, right. Hey, I don't like that you said that. Well, why didn't you like that? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that was a misunderstanding. Let me try that again. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you or something like that. Or what is your intent with saying that? Like those type of most people have they stay up at night thinking about, oh man, if I say this and I confront them, they're going to say this and that and that. Dude, they're just normal things for us. That's just bygones because we're like family now. So I had another aha moment when we were living up in Nick's house, me and Rebecca, and he was like, quit your jobs, quit Chuck E. Cheese, quit the barbershop, quit everything, the gas station, quit it all. Just come to Johnny Slicks full time. And I remember there was a point where, and I'm every entrepreneur has to do this, where you have a day job, like your full-time job, and then you have what people call your hobby, but you want that to be your business. At some point, you're going to have to step all the way on the boat, right? So my stepping on the boat was another aha moment. Like, oh shit, this is real. Like I was going from selling blood, eating ramen, avoiding the banks, not paying my car payment, electric turned off, drinking, to now I have another full-time job, and it came from my idea. That's insane. Like that's crazy. Am I good to do this? But I had a lot of trust in the people around me, Rebecca, Ali, Nick, that what we were doing was not just me solely anymore. It wasn't just me doing it quietly. It was like, everybody cool. I'm going to quit the gas station. We're cool. All right, I'm doing it. So having that community, having that tribe to have your back and support you through those decisions, because you only know what you know, right? Like you
Right.
only know the information. And so often we make decisions based on fear and not the what if. We base it off of the what if this goes bad, not what if this goes good, you know? I think Nelson Mandela said, may your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. Incredible, incredible quote, right? Especially for entrepreneurs, because so often we act out of fear. What if I can lose it all? I'm going to lose all of this. It's like, yeah, but now you're making decisions based on fear, not hope. That's crazy, right? I had that other aha moment where I jumped off the dock onto the boat and everything was good. Like I woke up the next day and I wasn't broke. I wasn't in jail. I wasn't being hunted. I didn't owe people money. And I was like, oh, this is legit. This is real. This is cool. And then I had another aha moment, a third aha moment. The first time we actually had like a 4-figure month, like that first month afterwards, where the money was not only on Shopify, but it was also in the bank account. I was like, oh, this is like legit real. Like there's actual money in the bank.
And
like,
you have more than $2,000.
Yeah, man. And like, this is crazy. Like this is real. This is a real thing. Dude, honestly, I have a whole book of milestones, like first 6-figure month, first 7-figure month, first 7-figure year, first 10-figure year. Like all of those are like just aha moments for me where I sit down and I'm like, damn, like when we just hit 30 team members, we have 30 team members. I'm like 30. Whew, I remember hiring my first and that was a lot. Now we have 30. Like that's every often, you know, I get a moment to sit down when we hit those milestones. And I'm like, those are all aha moments for me, man, where I'm like, this is so surreal. Like it literally started with a problem I had, an idea for me to solve it, me doing the work to create the solution, and then making that solution a reality, and then asking people to help me along this purpose. And they're like, yes, I'm in. And then this is what happens when you take those risks and you trust those people and you find good people, especially when you have core values and you know who you are and you know who you're not like you don't do business with people who like operate completely different. You need to find like-minded people, like, you know, very same mentality, same core value, and you stick with those people. And then you tell them everything that you got going on, problems, good things, bad things, everything. And they're going to be like, most people want to help, right? Do you have kids?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have 3.
So when one of them comes up and he's like, Daddy, can I have some help? You're like, yup, I'm in. What can I help with, right? Exactly. So why not provide that to somebody else by going and asking them for help? You know what I mean? Like most people feel that way. They're like, I get a chance to help somebody. I feel like a Superman now, you know?
Right.
Give that opportunity to other people by telling them your problems and asking them for help and then letting them help you. And when I did that, life changed, man. It was really night and day difference. I became a different human being, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, I had the same thing when I started my gym. So for people that may have heard before on the podcast, I worked for almost 2 years night shift as a police officer for the VA. And I would literally go to work, get off at 6 a.m., go home, open the gym, run the gym till the afternoon, go home, take a nap, open the gym in the evening, go back to work. And it came a point where my work as a police officer was getting really bad and really sucky. And I remember my chief of police brings me into his office and he's like, look, you can be a cop or you can be a business owner, but you can't be both. And right there I said, I guess I'm a business owner. And I started the process, retired, quit, and did the gym full time. And you're right. It's very, very scary. And you really hit a sore point with me because I think with the gym, I operated a lot out of fear. I was like, oh man, I need another client. So I'm only going to charge you $50 this month. And, oh, you can't pay me, but I need to keep you as a client. So pay me when you can. And essentially that was the destruction of my business besides COVID, because I was operating from scarcity and fear versus having, you know, faith that I could turn this around and I could do what was right to have the business be successful. Currently in your lineup, what essentially is your best-selling product?
Right now, original shampoo is the best-selling. Yeah. If you're talking about like, I don't know, it's hard to say. Best-selling product, we recently had this discussion because we're in manufacturing, we make the products. best-selling product, we split all the products down. So we take a kit, like the thinning hair kit. It has 3 products in it. The thinning hair kit is a top-selling kit, but the beard oil that comes in it is not technically one. So for manufacturing, we don't have to produce that much. But the kit is doing, I know it's super confusing. If we're looking at each individual product, Original Shampoo is doing the best. But when it comes to like, actually, if you're on the website and you're looking for the best selling product you can click on and hit buy, the thinning hair kit and the Beast Wash shower set are like neck and neck.
As far as gratitude's concerned and, mindset, and mindfulness, what do you practice and how important has that been for you as far as a business owner?
Gratitude in general?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I breathe gratitude. Like, I'm grateful you're having me on here. Like, I'm grateful, dude. I'm so grateful. I'm so humble. I'm the humblest person. But dude, like, honestly, in my eyes, this life I'm living is not supposed to happen. Like, I'm on borrowed time, right? So, like, dude, I'm grateful I have a car. I didn't for a while.
Right.
I'm grateful I have power here. I'm grateful for each one of these guys. I put a job posting out and I said, can I have help making beard products and hair products and shower products? And they said, yeah. Bro, I'm so grateful you guys said that. You know what I mean? Like, now I have a team of people that I can rely on because they said yes. Dude, like, honestly, there's not enough English words to describe the gratitude I feel for my team and for my customer base and for the help that I've gotten along the way. Because honestly, in my mind, I'm just a dude, right? I'm not special. None of us are special. I just have an idea. You have great ideas. I have great ideas. We all have problems. We all have things we're going through. You're talking about making fear-based decisions. Like, dude, we all do that. We all do it. We do it every single day. Most of us do it all the time, and we don't even realize. And obviously, if you're trying to keep a client, you have to do what you got to do. You got to make deals. You got to take those risks. You got to sometimes you don't get paid. That's just how it goes, right?
Yeah.
But gratitude for me comes into play how you show up to your team and to your tribe. If you show up, your every action should breathe gratitude. Like, I have my core values: kindness, love, gratitude, right? Everything should breathe those things. Every action should have those core values in there. If it's not, then that action does not align with who you are. And that's where regret comes into play. If you start acting out of your core values and what you believe morally to do right and wrong, that's where you start to regret and hold grudges and do all this stuff. But dude, honestly, I'm so grateful for the fact, like, I still get every order update when someone places an order. I see their name. I'm like, dude, I'm so grateful for you. I don't care how much you spent. Like, I don't care. Like, I know I'm terrible. I'm bad at business, man. I don't like, I'm not in it for money. Right. Obviously,
you can't be that bad at business if you're a 7-figure company. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But the thing is, man, look, I'm a really good drug dealer. Like, I give first ones free because I know the products. Yeah. So I don't have to come up. I don't have to stand in front of these people and pretend to be something I'm not. I don't have to say, buy this product. It's the best in the world. I'm like, yo, let me send you this product and I'll show you it's the best in the world. And every single time, I'm about to quote Paul Rudd, every single time, 80% of the time, it works.
It works.
We have 80% returning customer rate. So I know it works 80% of the time. All I got to do is get it in your hands. So to feel gratitude for people going on the website, making a purchase, sending me a message saying, dude, your products changed my life. I didn't know organic can feel this way. Now I'm starting to look at everything in my household, and my family's using it too. They love your Beast. My kids love your Beast. They love using Beast Wash. Now I can get my 13-year-old son to start showering. Like, those messages that not only did this product and this idea I had change my life, but it's actively changing other people's lives and their families' lives, which is what's really important to me, So there's nothing I can feel other than gratitude for these people, for everyone helping me along this way.
And I love what you said. I think, at the base level, and I talk about this a lot, where I think I try to beat it in people's brains and say it over and over again, and I'm guilty of not doing this too. The base level of gratitude is so important because you're right. Like, there's people that don't have house. There's people that don't have you didn't have a car. I've had a repo before. I've lost a car. So there's people that don't have transportation. There's people that don't have jobs. There's people that don't have loved ones or family members. So any little thing you have that just puts you that 1% better than everybody else, you need to hold on to that and be thankful for that. I can't tell how many times practicing gratitude got me out of my mental health bullshit, because I started to, reframe how I thought and be like, dang, my life's really not that bad. I have some pretty cool stuff. I get to do some cool things. I'm not really struggling. So why am I, bitching and complaining all the time? And I think when people realize that, they really can start having a better life, or at least be a little more at peace, because, gratitude, it's funny how the simplest things work. Before we start to close out the show and wrap up, if you could give 3 quick tips to someone that may want to start a business, no matter what it is, what's the 3 things you would tell somebody?
I'm glad you didn't give me any time to prep for this.
Well, your name's Johnny. It's called Johnny on the Spot. So
I would say number 1, through and through. I wrote a book about it. Like I'm sure I gave you a copy. Find your core values. Find what is important to you, and then find why it's important to you. Right? Obviously, like who, what, where, all like doesn't matter. They all change. What you do doesn't matter, but why you do something really matters. And I think that dials back to your core values. What leads your decisions? If you don't know your core values, and don't make it complicated, you don't need 30 of them. Just pick 1, 2. If you have none right now, then that's an infinite mouse gain. So just pick something. Even if it's kindness, what would a kind person do? If your core value is innovation, discipline, always drinking water, right? It doesn't matter what your core value is, but it's something that's a baseline of who you are and why you do stuff, right? Number 1, that's always my first tip. If you have any type of problem, you can dial it back to a decision that was made that was misaligned with a core value. That's really that's my realm. I work in that. Number 2, I would say communicate. Communication. I believe that there's I don't believe the word accident exists. I know I'm talking about we're talking about woo-woo things now, but every accident could have been prevented with proper communication. When you see a car accident, it was either somebody not communicating or someone not paying attention, which could have been communicated. All things that are problems are, 1, they're internal, but they're a form of miscommunication, right?
Right.
So communicate. I don't care what it is, man. I tell the team here too, they come in and somebody has something going on with our financials, or something going on with their family, or some sort of health problem, bro, you come here and you talk about that. If you want to start a business, say you want to open a barbershop, I want you to go everywhere, and every person you encounter, I want you to mention your dream of opening a barbershop. And I guarantee to you, somebody along the way will say, oh, my brother just opened a barbershop, or I'm actually thinking about opening one too. I'm a barber. You want to do it together? No one's going to walk up to you and hand you your dream or hand you the opportunity to execute your idea. It's your job to go to people and talk about those things. You know what I mean? I would say number 3, and I know you would agree with this, find a tribe. And I know that's I don't know. Do I go to the library? Do I go to the bowling alley? Here's my recommendation on finding a tribe if you don't have one. First off, it starts with finding your core values and then acting on those core values. So I'm actually currently writing a book on how to find it's a controversial title. It's a work in progress. I'm calling it How to Put the Cult in Culture.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's going to be definitely clicky when you see it. But by definition, a cult is obviously it's a pejorative term nowadays. People think very negative things like Charles Manson and all that, Kool-Aid. But cult, by definition, is just a group of people that believe in the same thing.
Right.
That's it. Like football teams, rock bands, bowling clubs, they're all forms of a cult. So how do you create a cult? How do you find a cult that you belong in, or a tribe, or a community, or a group? You just have to find your core values and let those core values lead your decisions. And eventually you'll find other people that align with those core values. It's called the law of attraction. You'll find other people that agree with your lifestyle, and eventually you'll find yourself in a position or an opportunity to execute to find other people. Or just, what do you like doing? Go do that. You like shooting guns? Go to the gun club. You'll find people that also like shooting guns there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Find any tribe anywhere. It doesn't need to be permanent. Where you're at right now is not where you're going to be at 10 years ago. So be okay with the change, but just get started. Go. Like, perfectionism is not a real thing. There's never going to be the right time to do it other than right now. There's an old saying, when's the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago. You ever hear of that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. That's the same thing with us. When's the best time to start a business?
Right now.
Yeah, yesterday. Like, you should have started it already. You know what I mean? If you're thinking about it, start it. There's no time like the present. Like, truly, there isn't. There's nothing we have other than right now. So execute, do it. And it's going to be messed up. It's supposed to be. You mentioned being able to move past like mistakes and being okay with no, like messaging people and saying no. It's ingrained in me. No is a good thing. I used to look at as a visionary and innovator, I used to look at people who would like cause friction and say like, that's not going to work or blah, 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 blah. I used to look at them and say, you're my enemy. You're against me if you don't think that. Now they're helping me because they're fine tuning my vision. So just like a piece of wood needs to be sanded down to become something, those people are my sandpaper. When I pitch an idea and they're like, have you thought about this? That's not going to work because of this, and this. I'm like, oh, I actually didn't think about that, and that. Thanks. I'm going to go think about that real quick and fine tune my idea. So when I execute it, I don't have to deal with those three things anymore because you brought them to my attention. So when someone tells you no, or that's a bad idea, don't use that as like, oh, throwing in the towel. That guy said it's a bad idea. I'm out. Use that as like, oh, I actually didn't think about that. What if I change my idea a little bit and fit it so it doesn't have to overcome that obstacle later? Do you know what I mean? So don't look at people as against you or with you. Just look at your idea, and everybody in the world around you wants that idea to happen. It's just going to throw every obstacle to see how bad you want it, which we all know exists. When you want something, all of a sudden, like you want to save money, IRS hits you up, you owe them money. Like, It's how bad are you willing? How much are you willing to work for that idea or that vision or that innovation? How bad do you want it? Just keep at it. And that's where it comes down to why you're doing what you're doing is going to be the strongest thing. Because you can wake up and it can all be gone. But if your why is still there, then you'll keep kicking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I like that. And I think, core values are important. And I think once you adopt those core values and you start practicing them, it just becomes intrinsic in your inner being. So like for me, I just adopted the Navy's honor, courage, commitment, and I try to always operate off of those three things. And it's to the point where, in my life, I try to have integrity. I try to talk to my son about integrity. I try to be kind to people and just have that courage to be that outspoken voice about men's mental health and marriage and being a father and all that stuff that I hold near and dear to my heart. And then, the commitment to continue to keep grinding no matter what. And I think sometimes the universe throws a wrench in our shit, right? They're like, oh, let's see how bad Rob wants to be a coach. Let's just, let's throw a wrench in him and get him in a car accident or give him that speeding ticket, or let's just ump the ante a little bit. Let's give him a taste of how bad he really wants it. But if you can just keep operating at that level of like 1% better every day, and you can keep fighting that uphill battle, eventually something's got to give, right? And eventually that something is going to be rewarded for your hard work and effort. And I truly believe that if you're thankful for what you have, if you're a good person and you work your ass off, you can essentially have whatever you want. I just think people get mucked up in all the details, all the information that we have, that we get overwhelmed and we don't execute. So with that being said, like, what's next for Johnny Slicks?
Well, I want to say something real quick on what you were just saying too. There's a saying, terrible times create incredible characters. So like when you're going through the shit and you're like, man, this sucks, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, or why me? Why did I get in this car wreck when I'm trying to build my business? Or why did the IRS just hit me up saying I owe them money? Now I have a legal battle. Like, and these are hypotheticals. Obviously, I don't actively get IRS in a car accident. It's just like those moments are not like, woe is me. Like, it's about victim-victor mentality, right? Definitely. Like, life is happening for you. It's not happening to you. You're not this guy that the universe is just picking on. You're not the guy. And dude, I think Seneca once said, or it wasn't Marcus Aurelius, it might have been Seneca. He said, be kind to every person you meet, for they're living a harder life. And when you think about it like that, bro, you're really like, what you got going on ain't that bad compared to.
You never know what someone else is going through.
Yeah, man. So like, just strongman through it, man, because it's not going to be forever. Like we had a saying in the military, like they can't make time stop, right? And you can talk about anything, like all your pain, it will eventually come to an end. Like your struggles will eventually come to an end. It might not be the most grand outcome that you are hoping for, but the universe finds a way to always allow it to come to an end. Do you know what I mean? And that can end internally or externally. The problem might go away, or you might just stop caring about the problem. But just stay with it, because I guarantee that there's always hope. There is always hope for your idea and your business and your innovations to actually come to light. It's just a matter of how hard are you willing to take no and keep overcoming obstacles. What's next for Johnny Slicks? 2026 is going to be huge, dude. We have a goal of like 158% growth. It's going to be massive. We plan to build, I bought a lot down here. So we have a little plot of land that we're going to build a warehouse on. Plan to get huge into retail. CVS is actually going to be launching us into, I think, only like 20 or 12 stores. So a small portion of their like higher end stores.
Who cares? That's flipping amazing. Congratulations.
Dude, I'm stoked, man. I'm so stoked for that. But if they do well in the next 6 months, they're going to put us in 4,000 of their stores. So
wow.
We have a bunch of retail opportunities that are coming up, a bunch of team members coming onto the team. So new insights, new opportunities, new experiences for all the team coming in, new people that I get to say, I love you. Thank you so much for being here, which we do say often, dude. If you come to the lab, you won't see somebody leave without a hug and I love you from another grown man. Like we're all like military members here. I got like 3 retired Marines in here. And we all just say, I love you and hug each other, man. And then I think 2026, we're going to be doing more product variations. So more fragrances, more fragrance ideas. I plan to launch deodorant. I've been working on it for like 4 years now. So I'm really stoked to finally launch deodorant. It's been a work in progress. I'm at like Formula 400. It's been driving me nuts, man. And we're going to do a big giveaway this fall as well. Last year, we gave away a Hawaii trip. So we gave a spouse or a husband and wife. We give a spousal couple an all paid expense, like everything paid, flight, everything to go to Hawaii, the Four Seasons Resort. The year prior, we gave away a $50,000 truck. This year, we got to find something even bigger to do. So we're going to find something, but stay tuned for that. We usually launch it in like August and it ends end of October. So if you're hearing this now, like stay tuned for that time. Give us a follow for this big giveaway. And it is like, it's not fake. It's real. People comment and they're like, they're not really giving that away. Like, no, it was sitting in my parking lot for like 2 months. I had the truck like here. And then we flew a guy in to come pick it up. And it was really cool, man. So 2026 is going to be massive. We're going to be on the Inc. 5000 again. So we'll make it onto that list for the fastest growing companies in America. Nothing but growth, man. Nothing but growth and love.
That's amazing. And I'm very happy for you. I want to see everybody win, whether I win or not. I think everybody deserves an amazing, beautiful life. And guys, their products are top notch. Like I have the pomade in my hair right now. Like this isn't a paid sponsorship. I wanted to delve into his mindset for business and the story, because, just like anybody, they probably would have gave up at that point, and he kept going. But check out their products. They are top notch. Where can people find you at, and where can people purchase the products?
Yeah, so you can find us on social media at Johnny Slicks. You can find me at Johnny Raushi. I know it's hard to spell, Raushi. You can go to johnnyslicks.com or Amazon. We have some products on Amazon as well. Or you can go to beastwash.com. But I just go to johnnyslicks.com. Or if you just Google Johnny Slicks, you will not be able to get rid of me, man. Like we run so many ads, I'm going to be hitting you up, whatever you need. And you can also email us at sales@johnnyslicks.com or message me on the social media. And I'll get right back to you, man.
Let me put you on the spot. And if we have to edit this out, that's fine. Can we give a discount code for my listeners? Can we do something under Battle Harder, like something off or something? Yeah, we'll call it Battle Harder.
Okay, we can do 10. I'll do 10% off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make it right now.
You want to run it for like, I don't know, 60 days, 90 days, 30 days?
What do you want to do?
Forever.
Let's do it forever then, man.
Let's do it forever.
Yeah. Are you a collaborator with us? Or an ambassador?
No, but I guess I will be.
Dude, that might be easier actually. You can be an ambassador And for anyone listening, you can also be an ambassador, but you can go on here and we do like cash back and products as well. So you can actually go onto our page and click ambassador. Super easy. You don't need to be like this massive million follower influencer. I don't want you anyway. I want normal people. You go on here and you just essentially make your own code. You post it wherever you want, and then you get commission off of that code being used. So that might be actually better for you.
Yeah, no, I'll set that up. And when this episode releases next week, that code will be available to you guys. So stay tuned for that. We'll get that out to you because if you guys know me and if you guys ever seen anything I do on social media or the people I talk to, if I believe in a product, I will tell you and I'll give you an honest opinion. If I think the product's shit, I will tell you and give you an honest opinion because I don't have any reason to sugarcoat anything. And I want to support the companies that I use, especially veteran-owned companies. And everything that Johnny outsources is from the USA. Everything's made in the USA. Nothing comes from overseas or China or anything. So you're supporting America. You're supporting America jobs. You're supporting your local communities. And, I mean, he's giving away trips, trucks. Like, the sky's the limit. So if you are a man and you have thinning hair, you need hair products, beard products, body wash, man, the after action body wash is top notch, man. I love it. I love it so much. It smells great. It feels great. Like, dude, I can't speak more than enough volumes. And I've made my own beard products. I've tried my own beard products. Johnny Slicks is the best. So guys,
I appreciate that.
Not a problem. I really appreciate you being here. What an amazing conversation. I can't wait to release this episode. Thank you for joining me on the Battle Harder podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Let's do it again, man. It was great.
Definitely. We'll get into some more. I love the woohoo hippie stuff, so we'll get into some more woohoo stuff about mindset.
We'll talk all about that stuff, man.
Personal development, all that good shit. Yeah, Johnny, what an honor, man. I appreciate it. And guys, remember, you can do whatever you want. You just have to actually put your mind to it, and you have to grind it out to a point where you know that giving up and no is not an answer. And when you do that, you can have those dreams, those hopes, everything that you want in life. But practice your gratitude first. And as Johnny said, have some core values that represent who you are as a person. Guys, with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember one thing, that's to always be fit for battle. Thank you.
You've just heard another real comeback story on the Battle Harder podcast, where we turn pain into progress and remind you that rock bottom is just the starting line. If today's message hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You might just change their life. Subscribe, leave a review, and join the mission at battleharder.com. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay dangerous, and keep battling harder.